Here it is. This is the Costal Dune for 2026. And I definitely want to hear you guys' thoughts in the comment section. I borrowed this truck from Jerry Seiner, GMC here in South Jordan, Utah. This truck is available for sale. Be sure to ask for Frank. Let's go ahead and check out the window sticker so you guys see options and features on this build. At the very top is the description with the colors. And then this is going to be a short listing of the standard features. Be sure to pause to see more. Base price comes in at $72,800, and then here are all the options. So DURAMAX, Premium Plus, Coastal Dune is actually an additional cost at $495. And this truck does have the trailer tire pressure. Now destination is $25.95, and this truck has a total price of $90,465. All right, let's get down to this color. Online, this color is darker, but in person, it is lighter. Now I know that some people are gonna love it, some people are gonna hate it. The only negative thing I'll say is, for $495, they should have just made this a metallic and put like some silver flakes in this thing, or I don't know. I think it would have been perfect if it had just a little bit of flake. I can't see anything in that paint. I think it's just a flat base paint that just needs a little bit of metallic flake in it. But yes, online it looked a little bit darker. Now I'm gonna hold my reservation until I see the truck with an AT4X black bumper. I'm just saying, I think if you see it with the black bumpers, it might change it for sure. But yeah, I want to hear you guys' thoughts. A little bit lighter than I expected, and I wish there was just a little bit of metallic flake in this paint. Now I'm going to show it to you guys here in a parking garage. So you can see now when it's probably cloudy or obviously like getting darker outside, it does change hues a little bit. So it does look a little bit darker. But yes, I still think GM should have maybe just made it a little bit darker. So if I had bought a 25, I'd said this in a video, if I had saw this color, which I saw online first, and had my Thunderstorm, I would have probably switched up to a 26. And now that I see it in person, I think I would keep my Thunderstorm 100%. The black accents definitely do help it, but I do want to see it with some chrome as well. You can't get this color obviously in every trim level, which stinks. Just like the Thunderstorm, you can't get it. And this color effectively did replace Thunderstorm because it's no longer available. AT4 obviously is going to give you really your blackout. This is what GM calls the off-road truck. I call it a sport truck simply because every off-road feature the AT4 has can be had on a Denali, SLT, etc. So regardless of it, it's more of a sport appearance. And you guys can see on the grill too, they give you like this darker gray color. Front parking sensors, and that's what I like about AT4. AT4 is really the black appearance for the HD segment because they don't have an elevation package. I was really hoping to see that at some point, like 25, 26, they would just add the elevation, because I know some people will say that they like chrome, and listen, everyone's entitled to like what they like, but when you see trucks, they typically are monochromatic or blacked out. I mean, look at Ram. Ram definitely does the best when it comes down to their night edition packages. See those red recovery hooks, front camera, and that's nice about the AT4 is a lot of things do come standard too. See that hood scoop? And then here's a quick peek at this independent front suspension. Has the Rancho shocks, and then these are the Goodyear Wrangler Trail Runner AT tires. These are effectively 34-inch tall tires, so LT 275 6520, 3,750 pounds of capacity, low range E. 20-inch wheels actually look really good. I've always liked this design. Right there, you see that engine block heater plug, and they do tell you 3,500. Now here's a side view of the color. And when you get that package, it does give you the power deployable running boards. High clearance steps are available with this truck too. You see more of that dark gray. Clearance lights. And I do paint these door handles. Now as far as skid plates go, on the front end of this truck, they only give you like splash protection. So that's pretty much what that is. And then you do have a skid plate for the axle, and I would say for the independent front suspension too. But obviously if you want more protection, you got to go to an AT4X AEV edition, which gives you tons of protection. Even for your transfer case about right here, you'll see you have just a basic skid plate there. And they give you a really nice skid plate for that DEF tank. And here are the steps on the side of the bed. 36-gallon fuel tank, 7-gallon DEF. And if you step up here, you'll see you have your cameras. This truck does not have fifth wheel prep package. I almost wonder, is there a constraint? Because I've seen more trucks this year without fifth wheel prep package. There's actually a Denali Ultimate I'm hoping to do a video on. Long bed, no fifth wheel prep package. Like, I don't think I'd ever buy a long bed without that. Obviously you can add it after the fact, but still, it's a lot more expensive. 5 leafs in that main pack, 2 overloads, more Rancho shocks, liner. And then this proves it's a sport truck. No off-road tire here. You can see those Rancho shocks a little bit better. You know, GM guys are the good old boys, and we know that because they do not change things on these trucks very often. Those are the same Rancho shocks from like the 2010s, I guess you can say. 342 rear with an automatic locker. And then out back, they still provide that multi-pro tailgate. Camera provisions are right there. And as I pointed out in other videos for 2026, and this is the case for this truck too, no more handle right here. So that is gone. So there used to be a grab handle. You can flip up here. You can grab it to get inside the bed. Made things a lot easier. They still provide the 400 watts of power, bed lights, and power sliding glass with defrost. I think that glass is an option. You have to get a package to get that even on this AT4. But this truck, you guys saw what the base price was. I mean, you can get this truck under 80 grand. And look what you're getting. You know, just the overall appearance doesn't change. I think you still get the 20-inch wheels too. Now I have to put a quick plug in here. I just added these straps in my bed for my AT4X from Juggernaut, and I definitely recommend them simply because they fit on the tie downs inside the bed. Has an OEM look and feel, and it's basically a strap that you can use on all 4 corners. And if you don't know, these tie downs are good for 500 pounds per. So basically you get 1,000 pounds of tie down force with the Juggernaut because it connects to those, each one. So that's pretty cool. And as I've said in the past, this is the largest standard bed in the segment. And check this guy out. You have different functions for this tailgate. That's one of them. And here's the other. You can flip this up. I've used this a couple times when I've had things in the bed long as a barrier. So again, I call it a gimmicky tailgate, but it's still really nice to have these features because they do come in handy. Full LED tail lights with the black accent built in, only on AT4X and this AT4. No changes for the powertrain. And you guys see right there, this is your CCV. Has a sensor on it that was updated in 2025. I have a 24 without that sensor. So they add little things here and there. So 470 horsepower, 975 pound-feet of torque, new combustion and turbocharger back in 2024, and that just carries over to this 2026. 10-speed transmission behind it, known as the stamped approved Allison. Denso fuel pump and injectors, And cast iron block, again, GM has not moved away from that. Ram did move away from it, and then they came back to it. Ford still uses CGI, which is compacted graphite iron. And most of you guys know I'm a huge fan of Banks cold air intake. That alone has significantly improved my fuel economy on my truck, and I highly recommend that. I have a promo code for Juggernaut and for that here, so be sure to check that out. I still run the 15W40 oil, and if you want to bulletproof your truck, I'll just kind of discuss real quickly. I would recommend upgrading your CCV right there. Of course, if you are someone who's all about warranty, just make sure your dealer's not going to try to ding you. They're not really allowed to ding you for upgrades unless those upgrades fail and cause a failure in your truck. But again, just check with your dealership before you do anything. I think that for the most part, the DURAMAX diesel is pretty reliable. Obviously, everything's going to fail at some point. There's no such thing as a perfect anything. But for the most part, this powertrain is pretty strong. Now I'm going to quickly show you this interior, but I figured I'll let you guys check out the first video I did because I talk about pricing in it, and I will go in more detail on the interior. But for this video, my goal was really to show you the color. That was it. But yeah, this interior is still nice. This is the Kalahari. Leather seating does come standard. You get the 13.4-inch display. You have dual climate control, heated and ventilated seats. All that comes standard in this truck. And that's why I said, that's what's nice about the AT4 is it gives you so many features standard. Here's that sunroof. That is an option up there, however. And then out back, 60/40 bench. They already have the weather floor mats with these removable carpets installed. Outboard heated seats. I believe this is an option for this truck too. And let's go ahead and flip this seat up. There is a storage solution from GM that you can add under the seats. I've said this in another video. I would like to see more options for guns. Like if you have rifles, they should do something down below. And I think that that extra storage might actually do a better job of holding rifles under the seats, I believe. So yeah, be sure to check that out. So last thing I'll show you guys here is the numbers on the door. Gross axle weight rating out front is 5,600 pounds. The rear is 7,250, which is still class leading. 12,100 pound gross vehicle rating and 20 by 8.5 wide wheels. Payload 3,778 pounds, 20,000 pound conventional towing, 21.6 for that gooseneck. Gross combined weight rating, which is truck and trailer, 30,000, that's a big number. And this truck weighs 8,322 pounds on the curb. Tire pressure is 60 out front, 80 in the rear. And let's go ahead and check out the numbers for a bed camper. Right in here, they say you can put up to 3,028 pounds in the bed for a camper. So not bad. You do have a camper package available on this truck too. But I hope you guys liked the video. As I said, if you want to watch my last one I did for the 26 model year, I will go in a little bit more detail, but I just wanted to show this color since I've already done the AT4 video. But I'm looking for a long bed truck, so I will do another one in the future on that. And yeah, let me know you guys' thoughts on this color. Peace.